So, first off, I've decided that I'm going to rename this series because I don't always have cake, okay? And I do not have cake right now. And I'm like, do you know what? It's just going to be renamed Coffee and Chats. I'm officially renaming this. It's no longer Coffee and Cake, it's now Coffee and Chats. Sometimes I might still have some cake with me, but it's Coffee and Chats now. As you can tell from the title, I'm going to be talking about my first tattoos. But not just my first tattoos, but also the kind of build up before getting them, what made me get them, how long I wanted them, blah blah blah. Basically my relationship with tattoos. I have my coffee here in my 18 mug. I'm not really 18. In less than 6 months I'll be 22 and it's really scaring me. So I just continue to drink out of this mug because it makes me feel like I'm 18. So before I get into what tattoos I got, even though you can see one of them right now, growing up for the most part I was kind of indifferent towards tattoos. I didn't love them, I didn't hate them, they were just kind of there, you know, some people had them, some people didn't. I was never overly fussed. It wasn't until I was about maybe 15 or 16 that I decided that I would maybe like a few tattoos. And it was also around about that time, well, when I was 15, that I decided that I wanted to get my nose pierced. Because I remember asking my mum when I was 15 if I could get my nose pierced, and she said no. And then she said that when I turned 16 I could get it done, and I think that she had hoped that I would forget, but of course I didn't. And as soon as I turned 16 I was like, right, I'm going to go get my nose pierced now. And I had the same kind of idea in my head about tattoos. I had said to my best friend from high school that as soon as we turned 18 we should get tattoos. Needless to say, neither of us did get a tattoo as soon as we turned 18. We both have tattoos now, but I think it was it last year she got her first tattoo, I think. So we waited a couple of years. On the one hand, I'm kind of glad that I waited, but at the same time, if I didn't wait, it wouldn't have been the end of the world. Obviously, my ideas and what I want for tattoos has changed slightly. There's only been one tattoo that I wanted back then that I still really want now, and that's Demi Lovato's signature heart. Demi Lovato is my queen. I've always toyed with the idea of band tattoos. I love bands. I'm a huge music fan. And back then I was obsessed with Panic at the Disco, and I wanted a Panic at the Disco tattoo. I was also obsessed with Green Day, and I wanted a Green Day tattoo. Still contemplating the Green Day tattoo right now. The Panic at the Disco one, not so much. I still really love Panic at the Disco, but I'm not as into them as I once was. I used to want the lyrics "Reinvent Love" tattooed on my wrist, I think. And I still actually quite like that idea of a tattoo, so maybe one day. The Green Day tattoo idea is still the one that I'm kind of toying with as well. That's the lyrics "Rage in Love." I don't know where I would get that though, and I don't know how I would want it to look. So those were the 3 tattoos I wanted for quite a while actually. It was quite a few years I wanted, and if I did go through and get all 3 of them, I would probably be fine with it right now, even though my obsession with Panic at the Disco and even Green Day have died down. I mean, I still hold Green Day really close to my heart. Turned 18, it just didn't go, I just didn't do it. My sister, Rhea, she turned 18, and I think it was actually on her birthday, she got her first 2 tattoos. And I think it was after that that I was like, right, if Rhea can go and get her tattoos, then I can get a tattoo. So she turned 18 last January, so I was 20 at this point. I think one of the reasons I'd put getting a tattoo on hold was during the time when I was 18, 19, I was really stuck with my eating disorder. So I think that also kind of made me just put getting a tattoo on the back burner. And it wasn't until I was 20 and round about Rhea's 18th that I really started to feel like I was getting my life back. So that was when the idea came into my head again, and I just felt as if more and more people around me were starting to get tattoos. One of our other friends got a tattoo. As I said, I think it was last year that my best friend from high school got a tattoo, and I don't know, it just seemed to be more of a thing that we started to discuss as a group of friends. I don't know if that's just because we were all suddenly old enough to get tattoos. The question was though, what? I really wanted Demi Lovato's signature heart, and to begin with, that was the first tattoo that I wanted to get. It was small, so if it hurt, if I could not go through with the pain, it would be alright. It would just be a little small one, and then I'd never have to go back and get a tattoo again. I just never went. My sister, well, she went on her birthday to get 2 tattoos. She then went again to get a 3rd tattoo. But then, last year, I decided on a tattoo that I really, really wanted. Like, I really wanted the Demi Lovato one, but it wasn't one that I was, like, desperate to have. I was like, I could probably live my life without getting that tattoo. But there was one tattoo that I really, really, really wanted. That was this one. This is the eating disorder recovery symbol. And obviously, as I mentioned earlier, and if you follow me fairly closely on any social media or on here, you all know that I really struggled with anorexia for about 2 years, and even now I still struggle from time to time, but I consider myself mostly recovered. And I really wanted to get this symbol tattooed. It's actually really, really popular to get this tattooed within the recovery community. Some people incorporate it into like different designs like flowers and things, but I was just like, nah, I'm just gonna be boring and get this. It was for about 2 years that I was just kind of, I was alive, but I was purely existing. I wasn't living life. And those are 2 years, you know, 18, 19. They're 2 years that, you know, a lot of firsts are happening, you know, you're leaving school or you've left school, you know, it's the beginning of adult life while still being a teenager, and I kind of missed out on that. But this reminds me that, you know, I got through it, and if I ever feel like I'm having a bad day, or if I feel like I don't want to do it anymore, I can just look at that and be like, no bitch. This was the one that I was like, I need it, because I think I decided I wanted that last year, and I always kind of wanted it here. And then this year, Rhea decided that she wanted another tattoo, and for ages she couldn't decide. She wanted an elephant one, well, she still wants an elephant one, but she couldn't decide whether how she wanted it to look. Then she decided she wanted a Finding Nemo one. Again, she didn't really know how she wanted it to look. So the fact that Rhea wanted another tattoo, I was like, right, I'm gonna get this tattoo. And I was originally only gonna get one, and it was gonna be this one. I was gonna go with her whenever she got hers. So I knew what I wanted, so I was literally just waiting around for her. And we were gonna go before the summer. That never happened. And so we were like, right, we'll do it when we come back off holiday. At this point, I was like, there is another tattoo that I want, and I really, really want it. Like, I didn't really think this one through a lot. This is my utter trash fangirl side coming out, okay? I have become obsessed with One OK Rock. I decided I wanted a One OK Rock tattoo. Now, I've been listening to One OK Rock for over a year now. Okay, so I have been a fan of them for a while, but it's only within the past few months that I've become really obsessed, and they've become a lot more meaningful for me. And, you know, they've just become my favourite band, and I just love them with all of my heart. If you watched my top 10 One OK Rock songs, you will know that my favourite song by them is Be The Light. And I decided I wanted to get Be The Light tattooed. And I did. And it may sound stupid because I've only been proper obsessed with them for a few months, and if you go by my other previous band obsessions like Green Day or Panic at the Disco, even though I do still love those bands now, the obsession dies down, and I do not doubt, even though I don't want it to, I do not doubt that the full-on obsession of One OK Rock will eventually kind of die down. I'll still listen to them, I'll still love them, they'll probably still be my favourite band, or one of my favourite bands, but the obsession will die down a little bit. Yeah, I'm like, I want them tattooed on my body. Okay, that sounds as if I want their faces tattooed on my body. I would not do that. But I thought it's not that crazy because the song itself, the message behind the song is just like so important and inspiring, and even the words "Be the Light" on its own, even if you don't know that it's a One Ok Rock song, you don't know the song, it's still pretty inspirational, you know? So I got it here. I really like people that have tattoos there, like text. I don't know, I think they're cool. So yeah, so now a bit about my experience getting them. Originally, we planned to just go in for a consultation, book an appointment, and then go back in, which is usually what happens. But we went in, Rhea had said, oh, just as soon as possible, and suddenly we were getting it done that day. Myself, I wanted time to mentally prepare, so I was like, I do not want to get it done today. And I had said earlier that I didn't want to get it done. So when she was like, okay, I was like, bitch, what? But I suppose it was better to just do it and get it over and done with. So we went in, and I was toying with the idea of me going first just to get it over with, but Rhea went first. And I'm kind of glad she went first because I could see that the pain wasn't bothering her at all. She was in pain, you couldn't tell. So she got hers done, and then it was my turn. I stupidly said to do the lyrics first, right? I should have got this one done first because, you know, if I couldn't deal with getting it done, at least I would have had that one. No, I said the lyrics because the trash in me just came out. And so I was sitting there and the pain itself was fine. Like, obviously it hurt a little bit, but it was like a scratchy pain and it was very tolerable, you know. I wasn't like shrieking in pain, like I could easily sit through it. But she had done 2 letters and I started to feel really faint, and I'm not good with blood or anything like that. I used to be okay with it, but over the past couple of years I've become really prone to feeling nauseous, and just like, ever since I got my blood taken. I once got my blood taken and I started feeling faint afterwards, and I think I now associate blood with feeling faint, and obviously when you're getting a tattoo you can bleed a bit. Now I wasn't looking at what she was doing, like I was looking the other way. I started to feel really faint. I was trying to just sit through it to begin with, but then I was like, I can't, and apparently I did look really white and I looked as if I was going to pass out. And so I was like, I feel really faint, and she'd done 2 letters and I was like, shit, what if I can't go through it? I was like, no, I have to go through with at least this one because I cannot go around having 2 letters tattooed on me. I lay down, she gave me some glucose tablets. I don't know, she was just like, do you want some glucose tablets? You know, to obviously get my sugar levels up. And I was like, yeah, like, she was a stranger. I was like, yeah, I didn't want to feel faint. Had some water, and so I lay down for the rest of it. And after that I felt fine. So I think maybe I just needed to lie down. And then so we finished that one and she asked, do you want me to do the other one? And I was like, I feel okay, yeah, just do it. So other than feeling faint at the beginning, the experience overall was fine. I didn't find it overly sore. This one was more painful, I think because of where it is, and also it's filled in more, so obviously naturally that would be more sore, but even that was like, it was tolerable. I would definitely get more. I think maybe I just have to make sure that my sugar levels are good, and maybe that I've got some water with me and just say, can I lie down? But all in all, it was a good experience and I'm really happy with them. Feel free to let me know down below how your first tattoo experiences were. Did you feel faint? Please tell me I'm not the only one. Thank you for watching and I will see you next time.